Shadim Shari. One more day until the big Fed decision. Um, Anything that happened yesterday and today is dress rehearsal. Volumes have been light, nothing to take any specific movement that seriously, with the exception of company specific news like of course like Apple yesterday. But let's take a look at some tradable position. First up, SRPT. So Raptor, this is the first time um, I'm showing this chart. I believe I first mentioned it in the chat group on this day right here, 8/19. Of course, at that point it was $10 higher, and I watch it. I watch it go up into the 50, get rejected. Don't care about the 20. Okay, back to what I said yesterday. For those that watched the video yesterday, I talked about how moving average, they all mean something, but depend on the individual stock. It can mean little or it can mean a lot. And when you see something like the 20, whenever I look at a moving average, I look at how a stock behave when it hit that moving average, regardless if it is 20, 50, 100, or 200. I want to see how it react. And if it react poorly, then it means something. Or if it have like an indifferent kind of movement, then it doesn't mean a heck of a lot. For example, the 20, okay? There are times where the 20 means something. Look, 20, 20, 20, right? It means something. And then it become kind of meaningless here. And then here, look, it sliced right through it, doesn't care. Sure, it become resistant, and then it slice right through it, just like it doesn't care. Okay, so you have to look at each individual moving average on an individual basis. You can't really, always look at like, oh, it hit the 20. You gotta do something. It's also depend on the movement of the stock. That's something that I think a lot of people don't look at the nuances of moving average. Like for example, when you have a declining um, trend, okay, declining trend, then no doubt the 20 will behave like a resistance. See, and it slides right through it. Doesn't matter because it is in a downtrend. When it is in an uptrend, then it becomes a support, right? So trying to look at moving average with some kind of nuances that you can look at. Look at the chart, look at the trend, look at the direction before you jump in there and say, oh, it hit the 20, it's a buy. It hit the 20, it's a sell. It can be both, okay? It can be either one, depend on the directional movement of a stock, especially on the short term. When you're talking about the 20, you're talking short term, okay? 20 days, you're talking a month. When you're talking about 50, 100, then it becomes something longer. All right, so back to SRPT. It hit the 200. Once again, when you do a fib, you can pick your spot. You can do a fib down here. The reason why I pick doing a fib retracement here, because that's the breakout move. Okay, because it was riding this trend line, and then you get this breakout move, and it came back to support, and then it ramped higher. So I do the fib extension, fib retracement there. Okay. Now, I like this fib because it kind of lined up nicely with how the stock came down and bounced off the fib, right? Depending on how you draw the fib, it could be meaningless here, but to me, this is a good spot for a fib. And right now, it's bouncing off the 200. Now, it is certainly below this trend line. Okay, let's go back 3-year chart. Let's go back 3-year chart. So see, look this. That's serious. Okay, so very small position. It's always something fall out of like a long term, because this is a year. Okay, go back to last October when it had that nasty sell-off. That was I gotta go back and take a look what happened last October for it to have this massive of a drop. You're talking 50% drop or more. But if you bought on that dip, wow, what a ride, right? You get a double. You get yourself a double or better. But for now, it's fell out. So that's the one negative, okay? The one negative is whenever you have something that fall out of a long-term trend support, that's raising eyebrow, right? So buy small. It need to get back into that, okay? So for me, I'll be much more bullish if it come up into this area up here and then hold. Then I think I'll be more comfortable adding bigger. Okay, sometimes buying bargain is not a good thing, especially when bargain is off support. All right. If anything that we learn is when something breaks support, especially something like this, it can go much lower. So how low can it go? Can it get back down to the 107? Yeah. So that's why I'm buying very small. All right. So for now, it's worth a look, but not too crazy. MDGL looking good here. If you are a fan of this, I have a alert right here because I have a buy order at 225. That's where my order is sitting right now, 225. Okay, so channel is a small order. I'm willing to buy on channel low. Confluence with the fib. Okay, so you get the fib and channel low lining up right here. So yeah, right there, my order is at 225. So come on down and I will take a flight. It's been a while. It's been a while since I buy into MDGL, but I like this channel. Okay, so let's go back 3 years and see what it looked like. Yeah. Okay, this one had a nasty. We traded, right? For those that remember, it was put on watch after this big move, right? And then we bought. We ride. I think I bought it. I traded twice in this move successfully, twice or 3 times. I can't remember. But now, for the first time in a while, it's back. Okay, the last time was of course down here. Then I believe we exited somewhere up there. But it's back in channel low, so giddy up, okay? Giddy up. You get the 50, you get the channel low, you get the fib, everything is lining up nicely. I mentioned DraftKings, I believe 2 weeks ago. I talked about how the football season is back and giddy up and giddy up, okay? So I have traded DraftKings for the last 2 years, I think. And I learned my lesson, okay? I learned my lesson. Okay. I learned the cycle of the football season, okay? Especially, okay, I didn't learn it here. I didn't learn it here because it came off the bottom here, but I learned it here. When the football season was over, it was like, nobody cares. Less betting, okay? But now football season is back. So I like what I'm seeing. Now, just because I like what I'm seeing, does that mean that it's all good to go? I'm watching it closely. I do believe, because my thesis was, I turned bullish on it 2 weeks ago before the start of the regular season, does not mean that, oh, it's a sell now, it's channel high. I do believe it's gonna get back into the up channel. Okay, this up channel, this down channel is gonna negate it. So of course I gotta watch it closely to make sure that it can break through. If not, then I probably put a stop on like maybe the 200, or so one. There's a confluence right here. Okay, there's a confluence of 100 and the 200 moving average, along with, you know, all kind of support, resistance, all that stuff. So it's a tough area. I'm not surprised that it came up and stall out right here for the last 4 days. Right, so it need to get over 30. If we get to 40, it's giddy up time. All right, to me, 40. If we can get 40, then it clear all of this congestion and into clear air where it has a lot of room to run. It can go 10% higher. It can go 44. Okay, it can run. I think ultimately it can get into that upper channel, 52-week high. Yeah, football season is back. A lot of people betting. Okay, so plus, look, it's turning a profit 3 quarters in a row. Okay, the day of bleeding is behind it. Okay, it was bleeding for many years to set up the business, but now it is in the money. Palantir, I still got my core holding, not selling, but if you are in the mood to sell, the fib extension, okay, fib extension, next fib up there, 40. Well, actually 30. It hit the fib. Let's zoom in so we can see. Look at that. It hit that fib and dip a little bit. Next up, 38.43. Okay, so if you in a mood to trim, if you missed the last trim, put something there like in the 37, you know, for the overshoot. And then if you don't want to, if you want to be greedier, up there, 38.43. And then how high can it go? Yeah, there you go. If you want to wonder where the next area is, take the screenshot of this. Okay, 38.43, 40.76, 43.72. Yeah, it can get there. Now let's take a look at, let's go back 3 years and see. Okay, we are in rare air, but let's go back to maximum. Max. Yeah. That maximum 100% of fib extension is lining up pretty close to the all-time high at 45. Okay, so yeah, I like that fib. Okay, I'm keeping that fib extension where it is. I'm greedy. I like Palantir, and I'm holding my core share, even though it was very tempting to set a stop here. Of course I took off half of my position on this up move, right? I trim, and then I'm holding half, and I'm holding to 45, and then we'll see if I get to 45, if I get there. But for now, would I set a stop? The answer is yes. As bullish as I am, it would be silly. Okay, so for now, my stop is right where the 20 MA is. Okay, so if it comes down, that's fine. Would I reload big? Gap fill. Okay, so it's a long way, but I'm patient enough with this to let it fall all the way down to 32-ish. Okay, so which is still pretty good. I'm not gonna complain, especially when I bought it in the low 20s. Lots of profit in there, but I'm holding. All right, that's it.